Let's have it right. Up the CHELS, up the Minerals FC. Big up to every single one of you live and locked in tonight. Hope everyone's doing well and winning in life, and obviously getting over the madness that happened yesterday in Anfield. But first and foremost, guys, I want you all to smash the like button if you haven't done that already. I want you to hit the subscribe button as well, so we get on the road to 9K and hopefully 10K. And I want you to hit the notification bell, ding dong, let's have it right, all that jazz, you know, when we go live on the Minerals FC. And we've got the Minerals FC Ultras membership, which is pinned at the top of the live chat and down below in the description, along with the Minerals FC Extra channel. So make sure you do the business there. And also, we've got Eunice's channel, which is actually his is in the description, the title of the show. So make sure you click on that and go and basically watch all of his content, because he's landed damn minerals. Big up to Eunice Talks Minerals. Big up to Stone Island Eunice. What's happening, my geezer?
How you doing? Yeah, man, thanks for having me again, mate. Appreciate it. Shout out to the chat. Welcome to everyone that's here. I wish it could be better circumstances, to be honest, man. I hope we can get to a time where we can do a stream and we're talking about the Champions League quarterfinal. Do you know what I mean? Or something. It seems so far away. Yeah, you know, I hope that can happen one day. That's going to be our vision. You know, I have a dream that can be done for. I have a dream that Chelsea will be playing in the Champions League one day again. So, yeah. But thanks for having me. Hope you're all good.
Listen, we like you say, I could be better. You could be better. Our Minerals FC Ultra, shout out to every single one of them. We salute you, bruv. We could all be better. But unfortunately, the reality of the situation is it was men v boys last night. It exposed these fraudulent owners that we have got and that we've inherited, not by choice. And we're a long way from Starbucks. And I'll tell you this, we are a long way, but we're not. We're a long way from the Lavazza Super Crema, bro. Yeah, so
hey!
We're landing it. We're landing it. We've got this one here, the Aroma. Let's have it right. Super Crema Aroma. And we've got the Lavazza Super Crema, mate. And funny enough, right, when I went to
I've just finished mine. I'm going to get a Super Crema next. I'm going to make sure. I'm getting that tomorrow.
Yeah. This one's serious minerals, bro. But what I will say is, right, the sales figures were very low last year when I was getting them. All of a sudden, Eunice, when I made the order, rocketed, mate. Super Crema's number one, mate. Number one. Yeah. You go on the platform and have a look at the sales figures. It's mental, bruv. But we're landing it. We're doing bits, mate.
You got to get a sponsorship from them, mate. Get a Lavazza sponsorship.
We're drinking as we speak as well. So salute all the Minerals FC Ultras, bruv. Aside from that, because we got to smile. If we don't laugh, we cry. But yeah, last night, Eunice, everyone's kind of knows my thoughts. Give me a quick take on last night. Land it.
Where do we start? Catastrophe. And you know what? I felt done, because I actually, before the game, gave some sort of credit, and I was like, you know what? I don't think we'll get battered. I think we'll lose. And I predicted the 2-1 win to Liverpool. But I was like, because it's a big game, big occasion, Anfield, I think the players might step it up a bit. And the one thing that I expected, at least, because I knew on a tactical level we'd get done, but I thought you will be there. Do you know what I mean? We'll just be present. Nah. They don't even give me that. So, I thought it was shambolic and a complete waste of time, as far as I'm concerned. Everything from head to toe was wrong. We played like babies. Literally, not even men against kids. It was men against babies. And it's not new. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You're not surprised. Everyone in this chat's not surprised. You know what's funny? I feel like here, at least, we can come and you can see people in the comments that are all there, and everyone's just like seeing it in the same sort of capacity, in the same sort of way. Everything from head to toe is a scandal. It's scandalous. It's a mess. So it's no surprise that what we're seeing on the pitch is a mess. I genuinely believe that if you see poor performances and issues going on the pitch, it means there's a lot going on off it. There's always that correlation, always. And this is no different. So from head to toe, ownership, directors, manager, players, we are scattered mess. So that performance was a reflection of that, and it could have been more. Shout out to Petrovic. He's the one player, him and Nkunku, I think, maybe Gusto as well. But Petrovic, you can look at and go, you're not to blame whatsoever in what's going on, basically. Because if it wasn't for him, it would have been double digits. And some people will say, no, you're exaggerating. No, it would have been double digits. You know, he saved how many and they hit the bar 4 times. So, you know, or the woodwork 4 times. So, yeah, overall calamity, but it's not a shock. And now you look at the run of form, the run of fixtures that we've got. If that's how we're showing up at Liverpool, God forbid the final, God forbid the Etihad, God forbid the Emirates. It's just, it's looking a bit mad. So
it's a shambles from top to bottom. Now, we know the structure's all wrong. We know what the agenda of these clown lakes are. Jose Feliciano, Fugaziano himself, has clearly stated, broadcasted, that the increase of value and meaning profitability is more important than winning or losing on the field. Everything that they have assembled from start to finish when they walk through the door up to this moment in time is an absolute shambles. It's a criminal offence what they have done to our football club. Absolutely destroyed us, gutted us out, fobbed off everyone, majority, all the social media fiends with the PR from all the brown envelope matrix, and they are still at it. And there's reasons why I'm saying that, and we'll expose that later. But the performance itself, they could have probably, if Nunes got 2 out of the 4 where he hit the bar and the woodwork, they score a penalty as well. There's 3 goals there, plus the 4 they've already scored. Yeah. You're looking at like 10. If we got 2 penalties, do we score them? Maybe, maybe not. And the goal from it, that's 10-3 easy. I mean, irrespective of the VAR decisions, which were criminal anyway. I thought the first one is a give or take. Second one, definite Stonewall pen. So I look at that and I go, it doesn't even make a difference. That's how bad we are. That those decisions don't affect the game. It's not like it was a tight 0-0, 1-1. Those decisions have a massive impact on the game because you're in the game psychologically, physically, tactically. None of that. We weren't in any part of the game whatsoever. It was like we just turned up and that was it. It was just us there in the kits. There was no soul. There was no fight. There was no tactics. There's no game management. There was no belief. Everything was just a shambles. And it's a great example of you can beat your Fulhams, your Crystal Palaces, your Lutons, your Wimbledons, Plymouths, and all these mediocre, poor teams. All right.
Yeah. You
should be beating those teams. But the moment you come against a team that's in form, a top team, a team that's actually at the top of the table competing, all right, that don't pave over no cracks. These are not cracks. These are volcanic eruptions at Chelsea, you know, and it's overflowing. It's seriously, we've been carved open last night, and not just on the pitch, but the owners have been exposed clearly because supporters have had enough. We are, Eunice, facts, right? Last year, 22 games played, sitting 10th with 31 points. We are now this season, exactly the same amount of games played, sitting 10th with 31 points, except we've lost 3 more games. Yeah. So where's the trust the process, bruv?
No, exactly. And it's the same goal difference as well, if you want to add the cherry on the cake.
Oh, wow.
It's 10th place, 22 points. No, sorry. 10th place. Mine plus 1 goal difference, I think it is, and 22 points. And it's the exact same as last season, the same. But yeah, as you said, we've won more and we've lost more.
Yeah.
And
we're
more. Already 3 games away in terms of losses to the whole of all the losses that we had last season. We lose 3 more games, we will match the losses that we had last season, and we're heading there. Of course, we're going to do that. So it's people. It's funny that we beat Middlesbrough 6-1. All of a sudden, Chelsea are back. I'm like, listen, we're playing a championship team. A mid-table championship team, not even Leicester. If it was Leicester, you know what? I might cut it some slack. We're playing, or Ipswich even. We're playing mid-table championship team. 6-1 against a mid-table championship team is expectation. It's standard. I look at that and go, fair. That's what I expect, and that is what was delivered. Fair enough. But I'm not blown away. It's Middlesbrough. Do you know what I mean? It's the same way we got past Preston. It's crazy. Then they collate those games and go, oh, just again, it's false positivity. Yeah. You know, it's a false sense of hope, and it's being in denial, and it's putting something in front of your face and just pretending it's not there. Do you know what I mean? And it's just relying on the hope that I'm just going to believe that this is now us getting better because I don't want to face the truth. But harsh realities and forced realities, if you want to call it that, things like yesterday happened and people can't deny it.
No. And this is the truth, right? They've been masking the truth for God knows how long. And the fact that they've done that is by winning some, losing some, winning some. And it's just an up and down roller coaster. Yeah. But these fixtures coming up, you got to remember, Pochettino has had no choice but to play the majority of these players every single game, almost 90 minutes, unless they're injured, right? Well, we're only halfway through the season. We're not buying anyone in January except letting a Brozier go, which we're going to talk about. But going all the way through to the end of the season, these players, these kids are going to run out of minerals. No, they ain't got minerals at the moment. Run out of steam. Like where are they going to have they're going to just have fatigue, and then you're going to get pummeled by lesser teams. And also the teams we're coming up against, like you mentioned, we got Wolves at home next. We got City at the Etihad. We got Newcastle at home. We got Spurs Arsenal away at the Emirates coming up. We got Spurs at home as well. I mean, I don't see any wins. Maybe Wolves, maybe on Sunday. God knows, we need a reaction, and you probably will get a reaction in the sense that we should be beating Wolves, depending on if Wolves do the number tonight against Man United, which is going on now. If they're
losing 1-0, United just scored, so
go 11th, didn't we? Yeah.
If Wolves win, if they can't, they're losing 1-0 at the moment. So if they United just scored, so if Wolves do come back and win, they go above us.
So on that note, then either way, let's say Wolves lose. I expect Wolves to lose. They're going to come to Chelsea, and they're going to be hungry to get a result, or at least draw a result, get a draw because they're playing away. So it's going to be a tough ask. But yet United are going to be above us, and everyone goes, I've heard this narrative that Chelsea are in a better position than United. You're a long way from Lavazza, Super Crema and Starbucks, mate. There is no chance. Manchester United are in a much more better place than Chelsea, and they're doing the right thing now. They're getting the structure behind the scenes because they want to win. Our owners, these clowns, don't want to do that. No. We're going to sit back. We're going to go out. We're going to keep a low-wage structure. We're not going to buy any experience, no elite. And Nkunku came on that Liverpool game, Eunice, didn't he? And he showed there's levels. There's levels here. Without having any run-up, scored a great goal, had impact because he's got a footballing brain. He's got experience, European experience, international experience, all right? And he's a top little player.
Yep.
And that tells you how crap and how abysmal our recruitment's been with this AI software and Kerrigan Winstanley and Stuart Little to sign the players we have signed, because you're not even signing the top youth, if you like, top high potential across the world. You're handpicking players that have had 6 months here in senior football. Some have had hardly any senior football. Some are playing in teams that almost get relegated. Like, what are we doing here? It's like it's just all what's the word? Like you're hoping and praying that these kids come good, and it's such a gamble in every aspect. But then you look at Enzo and Caicedo, Eunice, they were shocking, bruv.
Yep.
And we spent 230 million on these two.
Yeah.
Gallagher's valued at 65. You're looking almost 300 million midfield there.
Yep.
What we doing?
It's all over the place. No, it's true. But this is where I believe there's so many layers. This is why it's not, you can't pinpoint it to one issue at this football. Before something happened, you just knew there's one problem, fix it. Once it's fixed, cool, we keep it moving. There's so many issues in this football club now that it's crazy. So if we were to take, for example, this whole Enzo and Caicedo thing, you could argue we overpaid. You could argue that they are talented footballers. You could argue they're not ready yet. Some would say they are. You could argue that tactically that we're holding them back because Poch has no idea what he's doing either. You could argue they're not following instruction or putting enough in, perhaps. But because there's so many layers in this where the manager's not it, there is no system. The directors and the recruitment was wrong. We did overpay. There's a complete mess of so many things that has contributed to now seeing players like Enzo and Caicedo look crap. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, maybe they're not ready. Maybe with Enzo, for example, maybe we looked at one patch during a World Cup and thought, wow, this guy, unbelievable. But maybe he's not ready. Maybe it's going to take more time for him to develop. Maybe the same for Caicedo.
How can he, Eunice? Like, in the sense that, how can these players develop in their deluded minds? How are they going to develop if you're not even giving these kids like consistent run of games together to create like an identity, to create chemistry, to create a tactical game plan in every game that you play? Like Mudryk, for example, doesn't even get a sniff, man. He's like 80 million or whatever it is. And it's not their fault that these clowns overpaid for these players. It is what it is. But the reality is you're overpaying because you don't know what you're buying. You think you're buying a real Stony jacket. You're getting a Fugazi, bro.
Exactly. And look, the shining example of that is Mudryk. Yeah. I think we've been scammed. Fully with Mudryk. I look at him and I'm like, nah, mate, he's not a Premier League footballer.
Did you know
at this point, he's not.
Did you know this, yeah? That Brentford put in a 5 million bid for him way before. Right?
Did they?
Did you know that?
No, I didn't. No.
Right. I know because someone who came on my channel, he's a home and away Brentford supporter, and we did a stream before we played Brentford that we lost 1-0. Trust the process, getting the bin. Yeah, he said to me we were after him for 5 million, and then we upped it to 20 million, and then all of a sudden Arsenal came out of nowhere, offered what they did, and then Chelsea just blew everything out of the water and they walked away. That tells you everything you need to know.
You know what's mad about the whole Mudryk thing? I said this at the time, just after we bought him, because I was hoping that he might turn into something, like we all do. But I mentioned something, I've not entertained it since, but now I'm seeing all this. I'm thinking, I can't help but think maybe that's what's happened. I said at the time, this better not be politically motivated.
I think it is, mate.
I think, I'm starting to lean that way. Yeah. Like, with everything that happened at that time, and we were tied in this whole, obviously, Roman, Russia, Ukraine madness. It just gives a nice image. All of a sudden, new owners, boom, we get Mudryk in, it's a nice image.
What's interesting, Eunice, is we got the lovely, was it the Matt Fraud Law came out and said Paez and Caicedo are going to get, bodyguards sent so that they're protected. But Ecuador, you're not doing that for Mudryk, who's from his country, who's in a war. Like, what are we doing here? Like, he should have bodyguards anyway with him. Let's have it right.
Yeah, when you think about it logically, yeah.
I don't want to get political, but I mean, it's eye for an eye, innit?
It's true. But again, that speaks volumes, doesn't it? It speaks tons of volumes. Because it seems like one situation there is actual madness going on, and families are in danger and at risk, and the other one, well, we're not even hearing about it anymore, are we?
No,
nothing at all. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Listen, we've been robbed of Roman, and we know that.
Exactly.
But listen, it's loud and clear on here, right? It's a very simple message. It's a very simple narrative. The first one is this: it's Clown Lake out or sort it out. Now people go, "Oh no, they're stuck for 10 years. They can't." No, they can't take any money or dividends or sell any shares as such to profit and bank for 10 years. That's the Glazer Clause. That's why it's called the Glazer Clause, because the Glazers milk Manchester United every year. They do an interest-only deal. so they just pay the interest. They don't actually pay off the debt at the football club. All right. So understand the difference. They can sell at any moment that they want. They own the club. If the consortium agrees, they can sell the football club. So a Glazer clause is different and separate to whether you can sell the club or if you're actually bound to that club for 10 years. The supporters have the power to force their hand to sell the club for whatever they bought it for, or they can make their little bit of profit and say, look, it's not for us. Let's get out. Do you know what I'm saying?
I was going to say, would that mean that they just get their money back, basically, and that's it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Simple as that. Or they might go, do you know what? We're going to build a stadium and then sack it all off. But that takes 6 years. So I can't see that happening. The damage is so bad right now at our football club that it's almost like, to me, it's unrepairable right now. If we allow it to continue anymore, and I mean, supporters don't protest, don't make their voices heard, don't be active on social media, because it's not just a protest, physical protest that we need to do. It's a media protest. It's an online protest battle, as well as us being there in the flesh and blood to protest. It goes both ways. They've been dominating us. Well, not us, but they've been dominating the fan base, manipulating the fan base, using what? Media, PR, brown envelopes. So we need to attack that. We also need to not be wishy-washy with it because we've just won a game. We've done that too many times. It's not going to get any better. We're actually worse than we were last season, and we spent more money. And we're so-called building and backing. There's nothing to build. There's nothing to back. It's all falling down. Behind the beautiful bridge, everything you see looks fantastic. But behind it, it's rotted, man. RSJs are rusted, rotting away. Yeah? It needs a major refurb. All right?
Yep,
and that's the structure. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I'm all for it. I would run on the pitch if I have to and get barred, arrested, whatever it is, bruv, if it meant to get the message across. I don't give a shit no more, yeah? I'd do that, yeah? That's me. That's just the way I am, all right? Yeah. But I would say this. More importantly as well, we need John Obi Mikel, John Terry, Frank Lampard, Frank LeBeuf, Ashley Cole, Jody Morris, Joey Cole. We need them all to speak out that this is not CHELS, that the owners have got it wrong, and that they need to bring proper experience. They need to restructure. The Frank LeBeuf's already brought out that he goes, if I was one of the board members, I'd be sacking myself.
Sack myself,
he's down the minerals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Paul Winstanley, Kerry Winstanley, Stuart Little should never have been hired. You only need one. You don't need two. All right.
Exactly.
All right. They should be sacked. I'm sick and tired of the narrative that you sack Poch and that's it. It's all resolved. It doesn't work like that. We've done that with Jellyfish Potter. We've got Jellyfish Poch now. You have to sack him. You have to sack the directors.
Yep.
And these clowns need to back the fuck off. And now real directors, professionals to run this football club. If you've got any hope of saving this football club from going further and further in the mud, in the dear roots of the realms of the earth, all right? Because that's where we are. We're in the mud. And everyone's laughing at us. And rivals are speaking out about it, about the ownership. And other platforms don't want to land it. They don't want to say
exactly,
what it is. You know? You've got to be real about his situation. He's not going to get any better. Poch is struggling because of what he's been dealt. The cards he's been dealt is a crap hand. Let's have it right. Yeah? It's like, I said from when we signed him, Eunice, when we signed Poch, I said, you mark my words, and you can clip me, and all the Minerals FC Vultures can vouch for me. I said, he will be the fall guy. Straight away, all the blame will be put on Poch. You can't blame Poch. You can blame certain things, don't get me wrong, little bits here and there, but the core of the problem is not the gaffer. It's who hired the gaffer. It's who hide the directors. It's who's buying the players. It's the AI software. It's the culture of our football club that has been absolutely destroyed. It's a cancel culture. And I want to take all your thoughts on that, Eunice, and reiterate what you want to say. And then we're going to move on to the shambles that happened at Anfield.
Yeah. No, look, listen, you're right. When I look at Poch, right, my honest opinion, I think he doesn't help himself with, again, but you could have done your homework and you could have known about this, but myself included, when you look back to his time at PSG. Julien Laurent spoke about this. Tactically, he's a calamity. Yeah, there is no tactic. There is no system. But this is the thing, and you're right, bringing this up, and this is where I point it to as well. I see some people blaming it all on just, Pochettino, that's it. We sack Pochettino, get a manager, and we're sorted. Like, no. That's what I'm scared of, is that we will end up getting the next puppet. They're puppets, and they're yes men. We're in a situation where we got 2 directors, like you said, and we don't need 2, we need 1. And 1 proper one. 1 proper one will be worth more than 10 of these lot that we currently have, right? So 1 proper director, 1 proper manager, and let them work and get on with it. That's going to be the solution. So sacking Pochettino is going to be part of the solution, but it's not the solution. It's part of the solution. That's it.
Yeah.
So if you do half of it, well, you still got the other half, and that's going to breed more to end up with the same problem down the line anyway. So that's our issue. So I'm not against those that say sack Poch. I get it and I understand it, but there's more to the story. And you need to address that as well if you really want to get to the problem at this football club and cleanse it once and for all.
Yeah.
That's going to be the turning point. And I think we're going to get to a point at some point, whether it's down the track because the run of games that we've got coming up is going to get tasty. Let's just call it that. Whether it's going to be then or it's going to be the end of the season. The change will come. And it's going to be at that point we actually get to find out what are the club really going to do? How are they thinking? They're going to go and get another puppet? Or are they going to see that as a moment of catalyst to actually change everything properly once and for all? I'm more inclined to think they're just going to go and get another fall guy, as you've mentioned.
That's the
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the issue. So Pochettino definitely is a problem, but he's a byproduct as to why he was hired in the first place. He's a byproduct of the problem. So, we'll see where it all goes. But don't expect anything to get better. This is why, and you're the same. When we go game by game and I see people go, oh, come on, we got to be optimistic. We got to be... Of what? When you know... Who was it that said... When you know the destination, you can begin to see the journey. Right? So when you know where you're going to end up, you can begin to see how you're going to get there. And I think that is where we already see the path and where it's leading us. Do you know what I mean? We know exactly what the end goal is. And if you know the end goal, you can see where you're going. So I think it's a case of we already know what's coming. We're going to get more performances like we saw yesterday against Liverpool. And that's the unfortunate truth. I don't want to come on, not just here, but YouTube or wherever, and just constantly keep spouting and going, oh man, we're this and we're that, or we've got this problem and that problem. Like you have in the past, like I have in the past. I remember when we were going absolutely crazy and going mental on every level because everything was so good, right? And everything was lush. That's not to say that when it gets bad, we're just going to turn away and ship off and see you later. No, we're here even if we're playing conference football. But we have everything in our power to change the situation. Why are we not fixing this?
They don't want to fix it, Eunice.
Exactly.
Listen, Spurs are making the most money right now, and they don't win nothing. So that tells you everything, what their thought process is. They can, in the 10 years, they can still make their money. And people go, oh, if you're not successful, you're not going to make the money. Well, no, they can make the money because we're Chelsea Football Club. Spurs have not got no heritage and they're making money. So imagine Chelsea with heritage, how much more money you can make, right? Okay, that's the first thing. The problem I have is, right, it's like, where do you want to go? How far do you want to go? I'm speaking like to supporters, people online, platforms.
Good point.
How far do you want this to go? In all honesty, like, do you want to go to Etihad or do you want to go to the Emirates and get beat? Do you want to wait till it's Spurs at home? Where would you want to wait till the end of the season? and then go, oh no, they're going to sack Poch. Let's see what they get. And you don't have any idea what they're doing behind the scenes. But once they make that appointment, it's done again. Like,
It's
where
done
do you
again.
want to draw
Exactly.
the line?
Yeah.
You have to act quickly. We as supporters have to act quickly. I can't do it on my own. Eunice can't do it on his own. All right. This is a united thing. It's about everyone coming together, being on the same page. It's not just like, yeah, okay, a few guys, you set it up. No, it doesn't work like that. It's got to be everyone together. Everyone's got to feel the same. We're all starting to, well, we felt like this for ages, and I have for a long time, because I knew what was coming. People didn't realise what was going to come. And a lot of my Minerals FC ultras, they trust in me, and now they've seen what's happening, that I'm speaking the truth, right? But I've known what's coming. And it's eating me up. And now I'm actually seeing it properly come to fruition. It's like, I can't stress it anymore like I stressed it last year when it was Jellyfish Pot. I sack him. Yeah, you can sack him. That doesn't solve the problem. It's the model that's the problem. You don't understand what the model is. Well, now you're seeing what the model is because they spent the 1 billion and they're looking to spend more money. They can't spend any more money now because they're relying on selling Cobham players. They've only loaned Broha, which is a criminal offence in itself, that we haven't got a backup striker. You're going to rely on Nkunku. We don't even know if he's going to come back fit or not. All right. You got rid of Maatsen, who's our only left back option, and you're throwing Chilwell in there after being out pretty much the whole season. You got Levar Colwell playing left back, and he's a centre back. Done his legs in. He's probably got a major injury. He's out. Cucurella's out. So it's like, look at the decisions that they're already making without having any understanding of what the manager needs. And they build up all this PR waffle. Oh, Pochettino's worried about a height issue, and Matson's got a height issue. Are you joking me? He's not playing centre back. He's playing left back. Like, you know, you don't need a Marcus Alonso, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everyone moaned at Marcus Alonso playing left back. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, are we going down there? This ridiculous, the worst argument I've ever heard. The bottom line is this, Eunice. The players, I don't recognise them. They've got to earn their right to play for our football club. They've got to earn their right to get our backing. All of this, because you're 100 million, you won a World Cup, doesn't fit with me. Doesn't sit right with me. It's not enough. You've got to do it at Chelsea. I don't give a shit what you do for your country. All right? It's what you do at Chelsea that counts. And you've been below par, and you've been here a year, and everyone's celebrating. Look at Fabrizio with the here we go a year ago. Yeah, here we go. Great. What's he done? What's he fucking well done? All right? Casado, shambles. Everyone's going, oh, he's had an 8 out of 10. How? How's he had 8 out of 10s? Where are the 8 out of 10s? You lot are coming at Thiago Silva.
Nitpicking. Yeah.
Yeah, nitpicking. You're coming at Thiago Silva. Get out of here, man. Get in the woods. Get in the bin. Coming at Thiago Silva. They're fucking ruining, tarnishing his legacy at Chelsea at this rate, the way we're playing. It's disgusting. The agenda on Thiago Silva's a joke. All right?
We've got to remember, he's 39.
Yeah, man. You can feed your agenda on chill all you want. I don't give a shit, bruv. We need Chile, yeah? Chile had a stinker yesterday. I'm not ashamed to say that. He wasn't very good. But what do you expect? Is one thing coming back from a major injury, a long-term injury, and playing against a championship team that's sitting mid-table with 11 injuries to playing Liverpool away at Anfield, all right? There's a major difference. So have some fucking respect and have some context to the situation, all right? When you look at Mudryk, a grasshopper on speed, bruv, this guy can't do nothing, man. This guy's rubbish. All he is, he's like, yeah, love on the camera. Show some professionalism, bruv. We're not kids out here. You're an inspiration to loads of children who want to play for Chelsea. So all we've got is kids. Everyone thinks there's a gateway to Chelsea now. Yeah, there's a gateway to get to Chelsea. It's a golden ticket, right? It's like there's no identity. There's no patterns of play. There's no fight. There's no belief. There's no experience. Yeah. There's no leadership. There's no cohesion. There's no understanding between the gaffer and the hierarchy. It's all disconnected. It's all a mess, all right? So what results do you expect to get? You ain't going to get no results. You're not going to work towards something because everything's disjointed, you know? And you want to feed agendas on Mount. You want to feed agendas on players that ain't at our football club. They're not at our club no more, yeah? Focus on what's at our football club because the way you're acting, all right, it's like you're defending these players who are mid. You're sponsoring mediocrity. That's what you're doing. Yeah, you're overhyping mediocrity. Badishile, bruv. Really? A disaster. Really?
Yep.
I'm picking out of this team, all right? I think Gusto's got potential. I'm not saying he's any, he's there. He's all right. Cole Palmer, where was he yesterday? The fucking star boy. Where was he? Just a benchmark away at Anfield where you land the minerals and dig us out. Mason Mount dug us out. Last time we won at Anfield, he scored a curling shot from outside the box. 1-0. Fucking suck on that. Yeah? But you want to feed an agenda. What about what's his name? Sterling. Where the fuck was Sterling? Sterling, I'll give you a stat. He's never scored against Liverpool. Never. Not even for City.
Mental, isn't it? Yeah.
So where's Sterling at? Sterling don't give a shit no more. He's probably going to leave. He's going to leave in the summer. What else? Who else is there, Eunice? Enzo Casada. Gallagher. I mean, Gallagher's a poor man's Mason Mount. And I'm saying that. And I want it to stay because we need that. We need that player at the very least right now. But you want to prop someone running around the pitch pressing. Why the fuck ain't everyone else pressing? Why are you not hungry like Connor? Why is it only Connor that's got the attitude to press and work as an engine in the midfield? Where's fucking Enzo? Where's Casado? I'm asking you lot, all you stands. I'm asking you. You want to come at Connor, all right, who's got the best stats, but you want to protect Enzo and Casado for delivering nothing and having a Bermuda Triangle in the midfield, and you want to clip Conor Gallagher holding onto the ball because he's got no fucking options in front of him, all right, to try and mud the kid who's saying he wants to stay, who's been forced out, the same as Mason Mount. You're all a disgrace, and all you supporters, you deserve everything you get. You deserve everything you fucking well get for allowing us to get into this position right now. It's a criminal offence what you've done, all right? We have to be united together. We can't be divided. We have to land it, bruv. We have to land it together. If we don't, forget it. We're in the mud, bruv.
No, you're right. It's the only way. And then there needs to be a realization here as well. This goes back to the players that we've brought in and the way that we have right now. When you look at the team on paper, come on, it's bang average. It's bang average. And as much as, I'm going to be honest, as much as I want to protect Gallagher as well, and for at least for his attitude and the way he conducts himself, and for the abilities that he has, which I think can help a team, we acknowledge he's not top tier, right? I'd have him as a squad player, no doubt, for the attributes that he possesses.
He's Crystal Palace level. They were mid-table.
Exactly. The fact that we're at the discussion of a player like Gallagher shows us there's no levels in this team whatsoever, man. There's no levels. And you can honestly, and this is what I testify for, right? I said this yesterday after the review. I was like, listen, if we actually do our business correctly, we bring in what this team needs. Say if we were to actually go out and build a spine properly and get a top striker, but get some proper experience into this team that you can build around, what we'd end up doing, or what we should end up doing, is actually taking the best of the crop that we currently have at the moment to complement them, and they can develop and grow. So who are those players that you would take currently in this team right now, right? It's the names you've mentioned. There's a few. There's a few that you would take and stick into a starting 11 with a proper spine.
And Nkunku, Gusto, Cole Palmer. I mean, yeah, all right.
Yeah. He'd be one that can develop and grow for sure, with proper quality around him, no doubt.
All right. What about who else?
Reece James, when he comes back, obviously, depending on his injuries. He's had surgery, so we'll see.
Chilwell, he's got a start.
Chilwell.
Petrovic.
I was going to say, Petrovic, you put in just because he's doing nothing wrong. That's basically it. You could take Enzo, Caicedo, and C, but there's no assurances here. Like, we still don't actually know what we've got. We're still discovering. So it all feels like one big experiment. And this is exactly what it is. We've got a bunch of young players and just gone, boom, here you go. Let's try and win the league. It's madness. As hopeful as we were because of the high price tags and the potential and all of this that we got sucked into at the beginning, Mate, if people can't see it now, then they're either blind or they're choosing not to see. So
yeah. And this is the thing, Eunice. Like, look, there's not. I'm not just saying 3 players out of the whole team, because you can't do that anyway. We can't afford to do that. But what we need is a core of experienced 100%. Goalkeeper, a younger Thiago Silva level. We need a number 10, for crying out loud, a proper number 10, bruv, a creating number 10. All right, we need a striker. It's a core.
And one striker.
Yeah,
that's the core. That's a spine. There you are.
Spine.
Build around it. That's what we need. That's what we need.
We got Lavia coming back. Well, we don't even know what the expectancy time of him coming back. It's a joke.
God knows. And we've got to remember, he's 19 as well, so God knows what's going to happen there.
Yeah. So I look at that and I go, yeah, great. Fantastic. We're set up. We're a shambles, bruv. We're an absolute shambles, right? It's clear as day. Anyone saying otherwise, mate, you are in denial and deluded, bruv. All right? It's the only way I see it. Yeah? Or you're bought. It's one or the other. You're tapped up, like the majority of these guys. Now, yesterday, the mascot came on. All the mascots came on, and one of our Chelsea mascots got left alone. Absolute disgrace. I blame every single player. You can blame the captains all you want. You blame all the players. All right. You blame our Chelsea side, and I don't want to hear the Matt Fraud Law coming out saying it's Liverpool's responsibilities. A biggest load of bangers mash waffle that you'll ever hear. All right, to cover up the absolute embarrassment of this cancel culture, because it's the culture at Chelsea that allows things like that to happen, because it's all over the shop. These players, like, literally all they're caring about is their payday. All right, what kind of example is that to a young kid who's like living the dream? He can't believe his luck. He's walking out with the players at Liverpool way. He's a young kid supporting Chelsea, and you go and do that, and the poor kid's just standing there stranded, bruv, while they're singing "You'll Never Walk Alone."
Yeah,
but. And I don't want to hear Chelsea supporters tries to come out. Oh, wow. We're going to get in touch with the parents. That's all great. Fantastic. Because you have to do it. If you don't do it, you've got to do it. It's an obligation.
It's the minimum.
The fact that it's happened is unacceptable, because there's no care of attention to detail. None of our legends would have allowed that to happen.
Exactly. There's when you're looking at a mascot, the protocol, like I mentioned earlier, would be mascot is with the team when the teams stop their whole, lining up on the pitch and whatnot. It should be the captain's job to either escort the player to the touchline or direct the player to the touchline. Like you see it all the time. Yeah. You see all the time the captain turns to the kid and he pats him on the back and goes, and then you see the kid run off. Right? Happens all the time. We didn't do that. And then no one else paid attention. And what's crazy, you see players that are literally going past the kid. They're going past the kid and they've just ignored the kid, and he's there stranded in the middle of flipping Anfield. If we're going to talk about what's the most raucous ground in the Premier League, the loudest, it's not flipping, Brazil, but the loudest is Anfield, right?
Yeah.
Especially on a big night, it's Anfield. This poor kid is left stranded, has no idea what to do, not been instructed on what to do, until when eventually he ends up running off because some photographer told him. It took a cameraman that I think was with the TV.
But he just shoved him, Eunice. He shoved him as well.
Yeah.
If you watch it, the cameraman just goes, "Go on, get over there." All right. But it's facts though. How can you expect kids on our pitch to care for kids or have any understanding what a kid wants, bruv? They're not adults. They're not experienced. What are we doing here? And listen, it's a very good point that I've seen in the chat about captains. They're not captains.
No, none of them are.
None of them. All of them that have been made captains are not captains.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And that screams what's going on up here. And in terms of the foundations, as you say, the culture, right, at the club and even within the team. I'm of the sentiment, and we saw it in the performance last night. You can see there's players that are just happy to be there. They're just happy to be there. And if you're looking back, what we saw yesterday with the mascot would never have happened. I'm not even going to mention John Terry, because don't let it even cross your mind that John Terry would let something like that happen. But let's go to the rest. Lampard wouldn't have let that happen. Drogba wouldn't have let that happen. Cech wouldn't have let that happen. Essien wouldn't have let that happen. Funnily enough, though, Essien's a captain. Ivanovic wouldn't have let that happen. Funnily enough, Ivanovic is also a captain. We used to have a team just full of captains. Right? They all go off on internationals, and every single one of them is picking the armband for their nation. Right? All of them, unless if they play for the same country. And even then, they become vice captain. You know? Example, if it wasn't Drogba, it was Kalou taking the armband at one point. Do you know what I mean? That's Kalou. He's a bench player.
They wanted it.
That's it. And that was the culture. It was a case of at least the minimum care and attention to detail. We got players, young players who, with all due respect, because they're at the age that they're at, they don't know what life is yet. Yeah. They've hit such a high level so quickly, and not just that, at a point where they still need to keep developing and growing and pushing themselves. They've been given contracts, 7-year contracts, big money, here you go, you're tied to it, done. Living the life.
And
they've not got a push.
Are enticing kids from poorer backgrounds or countries where, like I've spoken about this before, like Ecuadorians that are living in the slums and all that. And you bring up Chelsea, you bring up London, you bring up 8-year contract. Ding, 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 ding. I'm there straight away. I'm out of the slums. I'm living the life. They're going to sign whatever contract you put in front of them. You know,
big time. Yep. And it's going to be low fees, hoping that in 6 years' time they're going to be, creme de la creme, and fees go up. It's just it's a complete fantasy model that they've brought in place, and at the consequence of it, we're seeing things like we saw last night, on and off the pitch. So if we're talking off the pitch, before the start of the game, before the whistle, we're seeing what happened with the mascot. No attention whatsoever. And then after that, we see during the game, nothing whatsoever. And they've all probably just gone home and got on with their evenings like nothing's happened. Just another football game that we've lost. Like people do Sunday League.
Yeah.
In fact, you probably see more care during the Sunday League lot.
You see more fight.
Yeah, you do. You see legs getting broken and all sorts. It's
I was saying last night, I give my left leg for Kovar, my right leg for Kante. I give my right arm for Kai Havertz, and I give my left arm, because that's my arteries, runs to my heart, bruv. You know what I mean? The blue blood. I give that for Mason Mount, and I walk around like a gummy bear, bruv. I wouldn't give a shit. Yeah. Mate. Because right now we are in absolute desperate need of generals, bruv. I'd even bring Jorginho back at this point. That's how deep it is, bruv. You know,
it's actually mad. You see, you made another good point. I truly think as well, Aspie wouldn't have let what happened yesterday with the mascot happen. Man, Jorginho probably wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened with him either. You see, so even that last crop that we've just let go, that's the sort of thing you didn't have to worry about. You can talk tactically and systems and all that, fair enough, but that culture was still there.
Yeah,
we as you've mentioned, we've gutted the whole thing out.
It's gone. Just, DNA's gone. They don't care about the DNA. They want to create their own DNA. You know what they say? They go, "Oh, the women's won a trophy. That we've done that." That's what they say. Yeah, get out of here, man. You ain't got no right.
Truth. The women still have the foundation that was there before these lot showed up, in the same way that we did, and it all got gutted out. Don't worry, the women's time will come. Unfortunately, I don't wish it on them. They're doing great. Emma Hayes will go. Thankfully, Sam Kerr is staying, but eventually it will end up fitting straight into the model that we've tried to implement, unless if a miracle happens. This is what we're calling for. But if the miracle does come and the strategy is changing, if they actually were to divert and change the model, then okay.
Emma Hayes is leaving. She don't want to be a yes woman. End of. Yeah. They're trying, mate. Listen, guys. You got no idea. Carrot Winstanley, yeah. Get him out of our football club. Get this guy out. I'm not even joking. He walks around like a toothpick, like he's innocent and all that and harmless, bruv. He's a vile geezer, yeah. Right. This guy needs to go. Stuart Little needs to lose weight, Yeah. Stop eating that cheese that's getting fed from Clown Lake. All right. He needs to get the chop. He needs to go in a mousetrap. You know what I'm saying? All right. And Pochettino, he's ex-Spursy. It is what it is. Get him out. Bring me Jose Mourinho. Bring me Joe. Why am I hearing Jose Mourinho is open coming back to United? Why am I hearing Thomas Tuchel United, who have just got taken over 25% by Ratcliffe? Why are we not making these moves, Eunice? Why? Why? Someone fucking will explain to me, all right, why you're happy there, sitting there, going, we got Jellyfish Poch, all right, that you won out, but yet you're twerking for Dezebri. This guy that wants to look like Wolverine with his hair gelled up like that. Like, what are we doing?
Mate. It's funny. Yesterday, I saw the reaction to that. I don't think it'll happen, but I saw the reaction to the Jose possibly being open to a second time at United with these obviously the new structure and all of that. And then I'm seeing the reaction to that for quite a lot of people. Oh, we can't let Jose go back there. No. I'm like, but hang on, the same ones that are saying he's a dinosaur and he's finished. So, do you want him going to United or not? Do you want him? If you don't want him going to United, push for him to come here then?
Exactly.
But there's this fear that Jose's washed and he's finished. No. Jose would at least lay down the foundation that we did before twice, right? That can get the switch going, and then what happens after happens after. I don't expect Jose to be here for 10 years. The longest stint that a manager survived at this football club, right? And in modern football, apart from Klopp, Pep, and all these guys, who's staying in a job longer than 3 years?
No one.
It's the way it is. Why? Because it's all about the now. Funnily enough, yesterday, Jason Cundy actually said something quite, and I was like, yo, you know what? I think he might be coming around, by the way. Because he said, if you have no present, you've got no future. You need both. Football is always and always will be about here and now. Absolutely true. That's correct. Tuchel said the same thing.
Yeah.
There's no process without the now.
I said that. So how can you focus on a process without thinking about the now? TT landed it as well.
Yep.
Listen, Cundy agrees, bruv. He knows, but he works for the club. It is what it is, man. But he came out. He says, "I don't know what I saw. We're a mid-table team now. We're not getting any better."
Yeah. Are we going forwards? No, are we going backwards? No, we're not going any forwards. So
right. In other words, we're going backwards.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So what are we waiting for, guys? What's everyone waiting for? Do you want us to go further backwards? What's that ride? Is it Nemesis at Alton Towers? You know, the one where you go like that and then they go scroll you down or whatever? You go backwards vertical. What is that? You want to go for a ride? Free ride as well? Well, it's not so free if you're going at home and away and all that. It's not free, is it? Yeah. Paying your way through. You got JT and JD Morris in the stands. What are they saying to supporters, man? They must be landing it. What is this? Yeah. It's a shadow of what CHELS was. It's not CHELS.
No.
It's not CHELS.
JT put on his Insta earlier. Did you see that about the switches?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, like for me, I'd never think of that. Like, for me, that would be excessive, right? But I'm not bothered. It goes to show just the way that he sees things, the way that he analyzes things at Chelsea, like the mentality is the way that his vision is conducted, the way that he reads everything. Mate, he's paying attention to the minute bit of red that exists in the room because he doesn't want it.
Well, to be honest with you, I never wear red. That's one item of clothing you'll never see me in red.
Yeah.
Even if it was work uniform, I won't wear it. Yeah. I've done it. I've done it before in the past. I said, if you've got anything blue,
I'm not wearing that.
anything navy, I'll wear that. I'm not wearing red.
Yep.
Ain't happening. I'm not doing it. Right. And that's I'm deadly serious. But the plug switches, fair play, bruv. I mean, I just do it for electricity, but it makes sense. Switch it off, you save electricity. Switch it on when there's no plug in there, and they're winning no titles. What you using electricity for, bruv? I mean, it's wasted money, isn't it? Which is like Arsenal's whole 18 years, just wasting money, bruv. Electricity's running, but there's no lights on, bruv. You know?
But that's where we're heading.
Yeah.
That's where we're heading.
We are. I want to bring this up, guys. Big up to everyone. Shout out to Tobes. Yeah. We were on a Twitter space today. I did mention this, Eunice. Old Fil Actor Jennings got brought up because obviously we know we put him in the woods, as always, for what he's done, what he said. His opinions stink. He even admitted that he goes, I jumped the gun against the Man City 4-4 and said Chelsea are back. You know, well, he's quite fond of Sugar Sean. Shout out Sugar, bruv. Yeah, proper Chels. And Tobes. And he messaged Tobes this. He said, sweet mate, keep fighting the good fight yourself. Been bang on throughout. Yeah, because obviously I'm blocked, so I got Tobes DM me that. Yeah. He knows exactly what's going on. So, Rory, hello, mate. Land of Damn Minerals. Say it for what it is. When you're on TalkSport as well.
Yep.
You know, do the right thing. We can all make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. I think this one's a mistake a bit too far. You know, you don't want to make this mistake. This mistake will cost us for years if we don't all together put out the right narrative and the truth and say it for what it really is, bruv. You know,
completely right. And this is where I personally see it. I don't know if you guys see it. Let us know in the chat if you see it. But it does feel like there's momentum swinging now, especially the match-going fans. From yesterday, I've seen a lot of. I saw a bit of this already, but yesterday you could really start to see things swinging in this direction of there's no connection. I don't feel anything. I don't feel connected with these players. I'm not in touch with the culture. I don't feel like I'm watching Chelsea. All of this, like this, there's just no the connection between the fans and the club is breaking further and further and further apart as time goes on, and it's just getting worse. And yesterday, I've seen the first calls for people that are close to the ground to possibly try and organize something peacefully, of course, but to try and organize something to get the word out, protests or something. I honestly think it will get to that point whether people like it or not. It's inevitable. At this rate, it's inevitable. When you look at the fixture list and you see how the games could go with the cup,
we could be in relegation.
The cup final, I think, could be the catalyst. Because if that goes wrong and there's no trophy, well, at that point, we are honestly, if this keeps going on, we're not looking for a trophy. We're not looking at a trophy for I don't know how long. And that's where I think there could be a realization to what's happening and what's going on. But even then, we got to go to the Etihad. We got to play against Spurs. We got to go to Arsenal. So bit by bit, I honestly think this whole reaction is inevitable. And I think it's starting, but it's only going to get louder. It's only going to get bigger. And we'll see when it does kick in. I think it'll be sooner rather than later. But you can honestly see, and this is where the reaction of even the others, and you've mentioned Rory, for example, I think deep down, everyone knows what's going on. I think deep down, everyone understands. And I think there is a sense of wanting to be optimistic, wanting to be hopeful because it's the club that we all love, because you don't want to go in with a negative mindset. I understand all of that. And I agree to an extent. But that should be the players. That should be the club. That should be the gaffer. That should be them lot. You know, instilling the correct mentality and getting everything on board. The fans are only going to react to what they see. And people want to paint it the other way. Nah, I'm sorry. If you've signed up for this business, you've signed up and you've made it to this level, you need to take what's coming your way, positive or negative. If you're at the top level, you need to bear the brunt of whatever's coming your way in a good sense or a bad sense. If it's going all rosy and you're getting the job done and you're getting praise from millions online, 50,000 on a Saturday, everything's fantastic and you feel on top of the world, great. But for every reaction, there's a reaction, right?
I'm sorry.
if that's going to be the case on a positive level, well, you need to take the brunt of it, and you need to take the negatives and what's going to come your way if you're not performing. And if you can't deal with that, you don't belong at the top level. It's as simple as that. And
that's all Minnell's landed. All Minnell's landed, bruv. Facts, yeah. Eunice. I wasn't laughing at you, my geezer. I was laughing at...
No, I know.
Did you see it? Did you see it?
Huh?
Did you see it?
No.
Fuck. Fuck it. We're the Minnell's FC, bruv. We land it everywhere we go. Let's put it up. He says, I'd rather get sucked off.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. That takes the cake.
Woo! Wow. Listen, the ultras, man. Landed it 24/7, bro. Listen.
Brilliant.
Wow. Oh, man. Respect to everyone, man. I mean, listen, that threw me off. Let me just sort myself out, bro. Oh my God. Oh, this chat's wild, man. Wild. Oh, they're wild, man. Big up to everyone in the chat. Right, so bottom line is this, right? We need them out. We need them out, right? And they can sell the club and get out. If the supporters come together and we protest, that's where we got them, man. We got them by the nutsack, because all their PR, they won't be able to do anything with that. The PR is going to be how badly run we are, and that the supporters have had enough in 18 months of them running our football club. You can't get worse than that. You can't. Like, that is calamity of all calamities. They will hate that. Do you know how much that will hurt them, Eunice? That will kill them. They've spent so much money to buy the supporters.
No, you're completely right. And one thing I know for sure, I know that fans overall have gotten softer compared to before. I think that's common knowledge, not just Chelsea, everywhere, right? But when you're looking at clubs that have done protests and all of that, Arsenal done it, and it got heated for some time. But even then, right, you could argue that they actually started to fix themselves in terms of the way that the club is run. Fair enough. United, those protests were happening basically every Saturday, and 25 people would show up. They didn't care. They couldn't care any less. With Chelsea, I think if it were to get to that level, I think you will hear about it. Do you know what I mean? There's a hardcore base within the Chelsea fan base, right? That you know that probably better than me. That do not let things go. He just won't let it go. And look, there's a certain culture that other clubs didn't really have in compared to Chelsea and other clubs, if we want to bring Millwall into it, and other clubs that existed back in the day. The fragments of that still exist, right?
They're not like Chelsea.
And if it were to get serious in terms of protests and the match-going fans and all of that, the noise will be made. It will be. Yeah. It will be loud enough. It will. I have no doubt. As Chelsea Old Boy said, shout out our ultra bruv, yeah. He said, we're not a force you want to reckon with, yeah. Yeah. Right. We when we turn up, we turn up. Forget United protests. Forget all that. Yeah. When Chelsea turn up and they want to protest, yeah, it's not like anyone else. It's not your normal walk in the park, mate. Yeah. Yeah.
And they are rattled. Everyone's rattled. And do you know what's the joke, Eunice? Is that they've sat back for a while, waiting to see. We give it them this summer. If it doesn't happen after this summer, and it's still not looking good, action's going to be made, bruv. It's like I said to everyone, it's only a matter of time. Clown Lake, you're playing a very dangerous game.
Yep.
You either change it, rectify it, and you don't get the noise, you don't get the minerals landing, all right? And we're all good. We land it. And we do the right thing, as a football club should do, right? If we're so-called money backs. But you're not doing that. You refuse to do it. And you're playing a dangerous game. You can do it with the media, who will come and bite you in the arse anyway, eventually, when it comes to that point where they're not going to vouch for you no more because their jobs are more important. And they'll throw you under the bus, all right? But you can't play with the supporters. We are the football club. The supporters are the football club. We're there before the owners that come and go. We're there after. We're there when the players come and go. We're still there. Managers come and go. Staff come and go. The supporters are still there. Years, hereditary, throughout. That's carried and passed on. We are the heart and soul and life of this football club. Otherwise, what's football? There's
exactly
no money in football without the fans, without the supporters.
Yep.
So what are you mugging us off for?
Yep.
What you think you can just get away with it? You think you can just come in and make a mockery? Eventually you're found out. It's just that I've been onto you for a long time. I've been onto you lot. All you brown envelopes. I've been onto you. Yeah?
And this is the thing they fail to realise, is that eventually, like right now, we're going through a second season of this madness.
Right.
And it will be a third. And it's only a matter of time where the fans who are patient and who were willing to give a time for the process and all of that, because they understand it's a new direction, it's a new ownership, it's not going to happen tomorrow, right? Fair enough. But even they're going to be, and they're already starting, I feel like, going, well, where are we going? What's happening? Like, where are we actually heading? Is this our new reality? Is this where we're just going to remain from now on? And that is, I think, what's beginning to scare some people. And I've said this. I've said if there's no momentum done now, this will become a third season. And then we will just remain out of Europe, mid-table, basically how it is now. This will just be our new reality. I don't know about you, but we've got all the resources in place to not allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to allow it to happen then.
We do. It's simple. Poch, you're not the guy. Or you back Poch. But it's too late to back Poch. No one's got any faith in this gaffer anyway. No. He's not, he's like you say, he's not
he was never the right appointment manager. Anyway.
He's not elite. No. He's not won enough. No. You go and bring me a born winner. Go out and pay the money. Bring me Diego Simeone for all I care. Get him out of Atletico Madrid. If you want to go new blood, your own way. You don't want to go back to Jose. You don't want to go back to, what's his name? Tuchel. Go and try and get the best of the best. Bring in a Luis Enrique and build with all your kids and a profile player and an identity. They have to change it. You fucking Wall Street merchants, yeah? You need to change it. Change the model. It's killed us. See, this is that not enough that we are having to suffer like this. We didn't need to be in this position. There's absolutely no fucking need for us to be in this
completely
position.
Self-inflicted. Completely self-inflicted, man. It's like we've literally stabbed ourselves in the guts. It's just there's no need. There was no need for it. And the amount of money that we've spent, we've already touched upon this before. Mate, what we could have done with that money, we'd be top of the league.
Yeah, we'd be competing in this. We'll be going head to head with City.
Yeah,
Arsenal would be in the conversation.
Yep.
Neither Liverpool.
No.
Look at Liverpool with Klopp, the veneer merchant, elite gaffer. He's turning these players into gold. They're not worldly players. They fit a system. They're on his side. They believe in him. They trust in him. They look up to him. They do what he says. Yes, sir. Please, sir. Feedback's full, sir. He doesn't have FSG walking in that dressing room, all right, drunk and trying to entertain all their Hollywood buddies. Yeah, let's have it right. Their duties. Yeah, all that jazz. All right. No, it's no nonsense. And he's made that Liverpool team. Look, they got the lanky Pocahontas missing sitter after sitter, this guy, yeah? All right? That they spent 80 million on. Doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. Why? Because they've got other players on the pitch that all play together in a system that can dig each other out.
Yep, exactly that. Exactly.
We don't have that.
Which is why
fall back on. We had Mason Mount giving us 30 GA, non-penalty GA. Take away the penalties from Cole Palmer. What's his GA?
This is the thing. This is why if we even go and say we get Osimhen in the summer, right? He's not going to be the one that unlocks everything. Like, it has to be a collective thing. It has to be everyone off the same hymn sheet. If it's not, we'll end up in the same problem. Osimhen will miss some chances, and then everyone will be on his case because there's no one else to pick up any pieces to support. Yeah. Even Haaland misses chances from time to time. It's about how much you miss. There's a limit, of course, but you're going to see a couple of chances here and there missed, as long as it's not frequent. But the fact for us is that if it's frequent enough, there's no one else to get the job done either. So you're completely right. Liverpool have a perfect blend. Perfect blend. And even Klopp said he's had enough because he's not being backed enough. So he's run out of energy. Yeah. I don't blame him. You know, he's not really been, you can say he's been backed in sense of they give the right profile players for instill his system, which is the right way to fucking go, man. Yeah. All right. I mean, that's just the normal way to go. But he's never got like for example, if they're really truly back, go and get me Bellingham. You know. Yeah. Let me build around proper creme de la creme. You know, the Lavazza Super Crema and all that jazz. Yeah. Let me build around that. You know, he didn't do that. You know, they fell short. We didn't want to spend the money. You know. And then he's thanking his lucky stars they didn't buy Casado and trying to mug us off. It's embarrassing, all right? But I am absolutely worried. But do you know where I would say we go one step ahead? We should go and protest, like they say in the chat. Go and protest outside Parliament as well, bro. Because they're the reason why we are in this mess. They're the reason Roman got robbed. Yeah. We should protest at the bridge and at Parliament, 19 Downing Street, bruv. Let's go and land it. We'll stand in like Minerals FC Ultras, bruv. All right, and with our protests, you know, make it known. Get that on the BBC. Get that on Sky Sports. You know, you robbed our club. You still haven't given Roman's money back. You know. Yeah. But what happens? What, we all going to get arrested, are we? What? Oil protesters don't get arrested for standing in the middle of the road. The police just stand there, but we'll get arrested for protesting again to protect our football club. What is this? What a load of nonsense, bruv. Should we go and spray paint orange and all that on Downing Street and then we'll get arrested? That's the only way you can go. Or go to an art gallery, you know, and go and find a Mona Lisa, a Picasso, and just throw some soup at it.
You know?
Yep. No, you're right. And look, all of that is politically motivated, of course, the way Roman got done. If Roman wasn't Russian, we wouldn't be talking about any of this. He'd still be here. But that is what it is. But protests on some sort of level need to happen for sure. Because if it were to, like I said, if it were to start, this is the one thing that they're scared of. It's PR, it's image. And this is different from the Glazers. Because the Glazers, as bad as they are, they were there when United were still winning quite a bit under Alex Ferguson, towards the end of Alex Ferguson's time. That was under the Glazers' ownership. So they had that to fall back on, right? With these lot, mate, you came yesterday.
And you gutted us.
And
that's like the Glazers coming in, Eunice, and going, Sir Alex, we're sacking you. We want to bring in a little yes man.
Exactly, and then gutting everything out from head to toe and starting again. Yeah. Imagine if that would have happened.
So how are the Glazers not? How are the Glazers worse than these clowns? You're joking me.
Exactly. These guys want to look revolutionary. They want to look like they've discovered, the best thing since sliced bread. They've discovered a brand new land or something.
No, they think Eunice, like Ted Lasso Bowley. the little Golden Globe merchant. He thinks he's Brad Pitt in Moneyball. That's what he thinks. He's going to land his big job with the Sox, you know. Oh, yeah, here's your paycheck. Look, we'll offer you that. Yeah. No, that's him going and buying other football clubs to sell them on and do the same thing and create a franchise like Mackie D's and have PR Happy Meals running all over the gaff. You know, this is what we're doing, man. What owner? Name me one owner, Eunice, on a reel that has come out publicly before a Champions League tie to say, we're playing away at the Bernabeu, we're going to win 3-0. The normal thing to say is it's going to be a very tough game. Chelsea's going to do its very best to win this game. We want to win this game. No, we're going to win 3-0, guys. Yeah, we're going to win 3-0.
Yeah. That was ridiculous. I remember when I heard that and I'm like, flipping hell, mate, what have you done? But clearly you don't understand football, which is the reality. And I said that at the time. I was like, you clearly don't know how all this works. You don't quite know who Real Madrid are, do you? And what we're looking like right now. You don't. To just say that is ridiculous. But that's the thing. You can say that in the States. You know? You can say, I think the Packers are going to win on the weekend. Like you can say that because there's no consequence of it. You know, in the States, in American sports, there's no consequence of being able to say something like that. There isn't, because there's no relegation. There's no if you win it, one team wins it, the rest will try again next year. Like, that's just how it is, you know? Whereas here, no, that's not the case. There's consequences for your actions, mate. So you have to learn the hard way. In the same way that right now, they're going to have to learn the hard way. If they're not willing to budge, they're going to have to learn the hard way. Simple as that. And this will come from the fans.
Free merchants. Get in the bin. I'll tell you this now, right? He's not wrong. 26, number 26, John Terry's number being given to Koulibaly, then thrown about and given to Colwill. That's the first one. You got number 25, a retired number, being thrown to Casado, who's like a defensive midfielder, who's like probably one of the most gifted players to ever play for Chelsea Football Club, and you're giving the number 25 Casado. He's absolutely criminal, and everyone just laps it up and goes along with it. I mean, what are we doing? We're giving the number 8 just thrown about. Even Mason Mount turned down the number 8. You know that? He turned down the number 8.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, and he wanted to keep his 19.
He wanted to keep his 19, create his own legacy. Yep. That's how it should be. You create your own legacy when you join Chelsea. You don't put on a shirt and all of a sudden, I'm going to play like a legend. You got to earn the right to be a legend at our football club, you know?
Yep.
But I want to quickly run through these. Big up Tintin. He says, bring in Mourinho and expect the ball to get their act together, or is that too delusional right now? Right now, they ain't going nowhere near him with Jose Mourinho. Nowhere near him.
It's crazy that a manager like that is available. Like, he's not in a job. He's available. He's sitting there. Nothing. Not even a link. Yeah, but you did. No, we got that Bangers Mash PR. Oh, yeah, the owners would love to bring Mourinho. Did you see that? Who wrote that? Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Go on then.
Well, exactly, yeah. Go on. He's there.
Go on then. Great, that was when he was in a job.
That was when he was in a job. Now he's not in a job. Go on.
No, that was after he lost. He lost his job. They said that after he lost his job. That was no.
Really? I thought it was before.
No, that was after.
Oh, well, that makes it worse.
You should kill me, bro. You killed me, bro.
Yeah, because if he's in a job and you want to say something and now he's out of a job, you're backtracking.
Yeah.
I'm not for it, but I can see why you backtrack.
Yeah.
You say that after he's out of a job and now you're not going anywhere near him. Well, what are you doing? Crazy.
Big up RIP FIFA. He says, you two GOAT content creators like a lifeboat at a shipwreck.
Brilliant.
Landed it. He said...
Oh, you know what? He's right. He's absolutely right, man. them Turkey street markets, they're ruthless. They're ruthless.
Bro, the boss man I met in the Turkey street markets is better negotiator than this club. Big ups. He's better negotiator than Carrington Winstanley. Carrington Winstanley can't negotiate a mobile phone contract, bro. Yeah, and they come as set contracts. He still can't negotiate that. Yeah, that's elite, bro. You know, it's like the Titanic. You know, when not De Niro, what's it? DiCaprio. He's with Kate Winslet, and they're just on a bit of wood. You know, freezing to death. Don't worry. Stone Island Eunice and Johnny Minnels will come and sell you away. Do you know what I mean? Big up RIP FIFA, man. We've got Don Roman in the chat. Don Roman, he says, start protest today and now. Bowley, Clown Lake out. And to make it very clear, Roman never picked these clowns. The least he could do is put a Glazer clause. That's all he could do. Yeah. He never picked he would never pick American owners. Bowley and Walters tried to buy Chelsea 3 years ago, and Roman rejected them.
Yep.
So what makes you think he wants to sell to these guys?
Yep.
Right. So let's nip that one in the bud. Roman says protests need to start now. Don't wait until the summer, guys. There's not a lot the overseas fans can do. Match game fans, wake up, please. Go out and protest. And I disagree that overseas fans can't do anything, because you can. You've got to fight the online war, the online battle against the media, against Chelsea and against these owners, because that's what they're using to monopolise and manipulate the supporters. So you have to understand that. You have the power. You do have the power online. Whether you're a little account or medium account, big account, everyone's got the power. Everyone's comment is put out there. It gets you get the views that it gets on each tweet. You know, this one's had so many impressions. It gets seen. Whether people like it or retweet it doesn't make a difference. It's put out there. The psyche reads it. Whether they want to digest it, it's up to you, bro. And Roman says, lastly, he says, we Americans need to start protesting in front of Bowley and Egbali's houses. We need to make this a global protest. Let's do this up the CHELS. Love that mentality.
That'd be pretty mental.
Can you do that? Can you do that? Where do they live, bruv? I thought it was Epstein. Where do they live, guys? Where is it? California?
They got to live in LA. Surely LA. Yeah, surely
LA. Yeah.
Surely LA.
Eunice, should we fly out there, bruv?
LA's a horrible place, apparently, man.
Yeah.
But listen, exactly anything that needs to be done, absolutely. And I wouldn't undermine the online presence either, because they count on it. They do count on it. Especially, like I said, it's the beginning of their ownership. They need all the good imaging they can get, and most of it's going to come online because it's instant and it's tons of reach and there's tons of impressions you can get. The impact online is undermined, so definitely do focus on that as well.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, Little St. James's Island. I was going to say you can hashtag Clown Lake out or sort it out. Yeah. You can hashtag Clear Lake out. You can hashtag, I was going to say, instead of Jim will fix it, Bowley fix it, bruv. You know? Egbali, Siri Merchant out, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Birkenbags out. Starbucks, you're a long way from Starbucks, yeah? Like, come on, man. Put your hashtags online. Like, there was a Poch out, hashtag Poch out. And that was trending, bruv.
Yep.
But everyone's got to be on the same page. It can't come from me, because if I do it, no one's going to do anything.
This is true.
Because not only am I hated, people think I hate everyone. Yeah, I don't hate everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want everyone to be together. You know, if we were all together from the start, you know, when I've set up my platform, if we're all together, like none of the things that are happening right now, the majority of these things wouldn't have happened. You know, Tuchel, he would have been going completely against the entire fan base. Tuchel getting sacked, number one. You know, Mason Mount again situation. Sacking getting rid of Petr Cech and stuff like that. You know, these are all bad decisions. You know, really bad decisions.
Especially gutting the club out from head to short times. That was just suicide.
Yeah.
Suicide.
No transition, basically, at all.
Nothing
at all. Dead, bruv.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely dead. But yeah. All right. So, lastly, Santos has been loaned to Strasbourg. Funny that. Interesting.
Yep.
When they were trying to force him on Pochettino, and Pochettino said he's not ready. The owners tried to force him on now, so now he's gone on loan. We've got Broja, our only backup striker, going on loan. I don't know what's happening with Nico Counterfeit Jackson, whether, you know, he's everyone's desperate for him to come back. He's going to be the saving grace, like Nkunku. I mean,
don't expect it. I mean, yeah, he'll be, I think, slightly better in terms of what we've had to deal with, but people expecting hat tricks from him every flipping week. It's not going to happen. Yeah.
We are Man United. Rashford, who went on a 24-hour bender in Ireland, he scored a goal, and Highland, he scored a goal.
Made it 2. Yep.
So they're winning 2-0.
Yep.
They are currently 7th. We are still 10th. We ain't budged. So, all of you sponsoring Trust the Process, own it. Don't backtrack. When everyone's turning against, when everyone's going to be landing it and turn against what is happening, all right? We want you to stay exactly where you are on your Trust the Process little pedestals, all right? Because it's time to get off those pedestals and humble yourselves for the sake of our football club. That's more important, you know. It's so important, bruv. But it is what it is. Big up Eunice, bruv. Is there anything else you want to sort of finish on, or anything you want to say, my geese?
What can I say? We've said everything. Honestly, right now, I mean, it's mad because this chat and obviously being on here is different. I would say to you can say everywhere else where there's still a sense of hope and optimism and maybe it'll fix itself down the line. Like, whereas I know everyone here can already see exactly like where this is all going. So I don't need to entertain anything on that front. But listen, we'll strap in, try and get as much done in terms of just keep speaking the truth. Honestly, you keep just saying what needs to be said. Don't think about any ramifications or what people might say, or time will tell. Time will tell, and eventually people will begin to realize what's going on. And I think that's already started. I think there's already a turning point that's happened. And I think the more games happen, the more people are going to be clocking on. We'll see what happens against Wolves at home, because people are going to be expecting some sort of a reaction by Chelsea at the Bridge. And at the same time, Wolves, who are getting pummeled at home to United, are going to want to come to the Bridge and try and take advantage. So we'll see who ends up on top on that one. And then obviously the games that are coming afterwards, it's probably going to head in the direction that we think that we already know it's going to head into. So yeah, nothing to say except shout out to all of you. Thank you very much. Cheers for having me on again, mate. And onwards and upwards, and keep this going. And don't divert from the overall bigger issue with just one minute problem that's part of many issues. Do you know what I mean? The grand scheme of things has tons of problems to make one big problem. So it's not just focus on one small thing and that's it. There's a big job to do.
Yeah, facts. It's the bigger picture. And I want to make a quick point on, I've seen a bit of your comments, and you're getting a lot of stick for speaking the truth, and other platforms are divided, and that's what they do. They get the fan base divided, the chat's divided, the comments are divided, and all you get is just Chelsea fans battling with Chelsea fans. That's what they want, and we need to iron that out. We need to erase all that, and we need people to actually understand. Look, if all the large accounts actually are speaking the true narrative and consistent with it, all that does is filter down.
Yeah, you're completely right. And I got to say, even when you look at some of the other bits of content that was put out yesterday and whatnot, you're beginning to see that there's a lot of the content that's put out that's in, like I said, in the hope that things are going to be better, because you don't want to turn against your team. You don't want to undermine your club and whatnot. I get it, but the truth is the truth of the situation. And I think now it's coming to a realization. Now you're starting to see, I saw the content of yesterday, and people are all now starting to go, yeah, where are we going? At least the question of where is all this going? Like, where are we heading? The right questions are starting to get asked, basically. So bit by bit, and I think everyone will clock on.
And like you say, second season, and we're not going anywhere. That's the I think the major eye opener to everyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the key.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is. It's the key. It was going to come. I knew it. It was inevitable. I don't know where you predicted us to go this season. I predicted about 8th at best. That's what I said. 8th at best.
Yeah. I'll be honest. At the start, I was feeling, after all the signings and whatnot, I was feeling optimistic. After about, what was it, 8 or 9 games in, I think, or 7 or 8 or somewhere there, I was like, yeah, no, this could be like last season. And I went from one extreme to the other. I went from, yeah, we'll finish in 12th again. And I've not really budged from there. Moments I thought, no, you know what? All right, we might make 8th. But the way that I'm seeing it now and the fixtures that we've got,
no, and you're relying on everyone else to like fall off as well. And like United are, well, they're 2-1. Wolves have had a penalty, but I expect them to win this game, So it is what it is. But they've had a lot of injuries. People forget United had a lot of injuries, key injuries, and yet they're still above us.
Yeah.
So it's not an excuse no more. But we'll keep landing at Eunice. I think we need to do some Twitter Spaces as well. But
that'd be a shout.
Yeah, I was going to do it linked up live, but I forgot. But we'll try and do that in the future. But definitely. Guys, big up to everyone in the chat. I've got one last Super Minerals landing from Brian, our Minerals FC Ultra member. He says, up the Chels, up the Minerals FC. Long live Chelsea old boys. Keep landing it, Johnny and Eunice. Big up to you, my geezer. And we will keep landing it. We ain't going to stop, man. We ain't going to stop at all costs. Respect to you, Eunice, bruv, for coming on as always. And
thank you, mate.
Supporting the good cause. You know what I'm saying? And that's the most important thing. And respect to everything you're doing on your channel. You're landing it. You're being real, bruv. And that's what we need. We need more of it. The truth will set us free. Facts. But listen, make sure you like, subscribe, put your comments down below, guys. Make sure you put your comments. Make sure you go and sub to Eunice as well. Get comments on Eunice's platform as well, and help his channel grow. He wants to get 200k or whatever what's your target, Eunice? You get up there, bruv.
Yeah, that's the road now. Yeah,
200k, man. Let's get into 200k. And respect to everyone that's watching live and everyone that's watching after now. Respect and love to everyone. Stay healthy mentally, in the mind. Get out there, get in the gym, do whatever it takes. Land your minerals, and stay positive, guys. Love to everyone. As always, up the Chels, up Minerals FC, and as always, we move, bruv.